everyone, welcome back to WGT. For today's episode, we're going to start a new song tutorial, MAKER, the Leeland version. So guitar one, we're going to look at the theory and the breakdown behind the chords and the chord shapes used for guitar one, and also for the lead part towards the end of the song. So the tutorial for this is by the Worship Resource. Fantastic bunch of guys there. If you have not seen this tutorial, you need to head over there and watch that. The link for that is down the bottom. Get over there, watch it, you'll be blessed and equipped by it. So getting into part one, in the chorus, we're gonna pick through or arpeggiate through the chord shapes. So the first chord shape, as you know, is actually what we call an A sus2, A suspended second, or just A second to abbreviate it. The next chord shape is an E over G sharp, so it's inverted E with a G sharp bass. The next chord shape, alright, that's an inverted B suspended fourth, so B sus4 over F sharp because of the F sharp bass here. Right, so let's break down the chords a little bit more. Let's go back to the first shape, which is the A suspended second, or just A second. So what actually comprises this chord? Well, if you've seen any of my previous videos about major chords, a major chord is made up of the first, the third, and the fifth notes from the respective scale. So for an A chord, we look to the A major scale to get the notes that we need. Now the difference between just a regular A major chord and an A suspended second chord is that we're suspending the third note down to the second. So instead of having an A, C sharp, E, which you normally would have in an A major chord, we're going to have an A, B, E. So a first, a second, and a fifth, rather than the first, third, and a fifth. Alright, so if we look at the chord again, we're going to see there's an A root there, and then a B, which is the second, and then the E, which is the fifth. The next chord, E over G sharp. Alright, so this is basically an E chord once again. An inversion means that we're just changing the bass note within the chord. So you still have the same three notes. Typically, an E major chord will have an E, alright, G sharp, and a B. So all we're doing now is putting the G sharp as the bass. It's a G sharp there, B, same three notes, just different order. Alright, the next chord. So this really is a B suspended fourth. If you play a B suspended fourth, sort of a bigger shape that some of you might be used to, right? The only difference now is that we have the F sharp as the bass. So similar to the suspended second, what we're doing now rather is, instead of moving the third down to a 2, we're going to move the third up to a fourth, right? So normally a B chord will have a B, which is your first, a D sharp, and then an F sharp. But this time we're going to go B, play a fourth instead, which is the E, and then an F sharp. So if we break down the actual chord shape, you can see here there's an F sharp there, a B, and then an E. Alright, so B sus4 over F sharp. Great, and then we move towards the next verse, and we're going to play essentially the same chords, except this time we're going to add the G sharp on the first string on the 4th fret, right? So they're going to play an arpeggio there. Follow the same picking pattern over those chord shapes. Now just by adding that extra note in there, we're actually going to complicate the chord names even further. So from the first chord, we knew that we had an A suspended 2, right, second. By adding this G sharp in there, that's actually the major 7th. So if you look at the A scale, that's the 7th note, the G sharp. So what we have actually is an A major 7 suspended 2. Yep. Anyone getting lost yet? I hope not. Lucky thing, the next shape, that's still the E over G sharp, right? Because this note G sharp is just the same as the root. They're just an octave apart. Right? Then the next chord, once again, throw a bit more of confusion in there. The G sharp in the B major scale would be the number 6 note, right? So this actually is a B6, but with a suspended 4th. So it's a B6 suspended 4th, right? Fun times. Great, all right, now just to not hurt anyone's head anymore, we're going to jump into the big chords leading into the build that precedes the chorus, right? So we're going to play these shapes, as you would have seen from the playthrough, and which is an A second suspended again. Same chord as that we did earlier on, but a bigger version. More notes, more of the same notes rather. The next chord is an E fifth or E power chord. Third chord, B suspended fourth again, but a bigger version. More notes to play with. And the next chord is a C sharp minor seventh. Alright, so let's talk through the notes and the chords again, going back to the A second. Right, so we got the root A there, and then we got an E, then we got the B, which is the second, and then we got another B, which is the same second, and then an E again, the fifth. Right, then the E power chord, that's an E, B, that's an E again, that's a B, that's a B, that's an E. So that whole chord is just E's and B's. Right, and then the next chord, B sus4, which is a B, F sharp, that's your fifth, B again, and then E, which gives you that's the sus4 there. B sus4. Now the C sharp minor seventh. So the C sharp minor, so minor chords has the first, a flat third, and a fifth. So C sharp, E, and then G sharp, right? Those are the three notes. But we're going to add the flat seventh in there. So a minor seven will have a flat seven as well in there, right? Which is your B. So if we look at this chord shape that we actually play, we have the C sharp, right, there. Then we got the minor third there, which is the E. And then we got the B there, which is seventh. B again, same note. And the E, which is the third, right? So C sharp minor seventh. So those are the chords that they're playing there, building into the chorus, and also in the bigger parts of the chorus, that's what guitar one's playing. Now, in bridge, it's essentially the same chord shapes as the first chorus, and as well as it builds up, it'll be the bigger chorus, big chord strumming again. All right, so the guitar one lead line at the end, starting with the perfect fourth interval, up to the B, and the G sharp, a lower B, to the F sharp, and like a C sharp minor run. Right, so you see the tab on the screen for that one too. What I want to hone in on over here is what's the scale that's sort of helping us play that riff, that line, right? So we're in the ninth position here, so that means the first finger's on the ninth fret. So there's a few scales here that we can practice in this position that will help us play any sort of lines or riffs in that sort of fingering position. So the first one would be the E major scale, right? Starting on the 12th fret, that's your E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, back to the E, right? Follow through to the second octave. So we've got two octaves of the E there. The other one that we can play, which probably more of us would know, is just the E major pentatonic, which is once again just a subset, five out of the 7 notes that we just played in the previous scale. Okay, and the last one, which is a C sharp minor pentatonic, same as the E major pentatonic, just starting on the C sharp instead here on the 9th fret. Alright, so there's tabs on the screen for all 3 of those that we just looked at. Once again, E major scale. E major pentatonic. And C sharp minor pentatonic. Right, so all those 3 scales, I highly recommend learning them, memorizing, and committing them to memory, because if you know that shape, you can quite easily work out the lead line just from listening to the song rather than actually having someone show it to you physically, alright? Because if you look at all those shapes they're playing, it's all within the same, those notes are within the scales. Alright, I'm not leaving this position. let's not get carried away now. I mean, we're not actually going to play that in the song, right? Great, well that's enough for today's tutorial. I really hope that that you appreciate getting behind the parts you're playing. So not just being able to play them, but actually know what the notes are going into those chords, what's the theory, the scales that have been used to build them. And I hope that this knowledge will take you further into learning other songs and to just improving yourself as a guitar player. So God bless you. I pray that it really enhances your ability to serve and to be a blessing to God and to everyone else. Have a fantastic day. Catch you later.